Starting over. I mean, we're not worried about last year. Last year's in the past. Got to start over. Building with this team in OTAs in the off season, and trying to get this thing going. But not really worried about last year. It's in the past.
Every year you strive for improvement. What would you say are some areas for improvement for you as
My answer's the same. Every time y'all ask is everything. I can improve on everything, and that's what I try to work on each and every day. As am I competing and getting better. Take the coaching, watch the film, anything I need to work on. I'm gonna do that out here, and when I'm away, during the off season.
how about catching the football? How can you get improve in that area?
Catch the ball. Quarterback throw you the ball. When we're before practice, after practice, and then we out here going against each other. Just catch the ball, look it in. It ain't hard.
Running angry or more violently, whatever the words were in the last quarter of the season. How do you get? Is it harder to get that mindset earlier in the season? You wear people down. Is it harder to have
Is it harder
on people in September than it is in November or December?
No. I don't even know. No, it's not.
How do you start off that way this year? Because you couldn't last year.
Play good football. Like I said, y'all seen me stand up here before and said I wasn't playing good football. That's the main focus, just being efficient, being consistent, and making big plays, being a playmaker for this team and this offense, and helping us win games. So.
Do you focus on anything or do anything different from a size, strength standpoint this offseason as far as your training goes?
No, I do the same thing every time, so there's nothing changed.
Back in school, you've been training back in Tuscaloosa, or where you've been spending a lot of your time?
Usually everywhere, Florida, Dallas, all over the place.
How have you liked working with Arthur in his new capacity as your offensive coordinator?
Yeah, man, I love Arthur. It's been fun. I've been with Arthur going on year 4, so I'm excited. And just building team chemistry, while we're out here.
Is there collaboration, maybe give and take schematically of what worked so well last year from you guys? Can you guys maybe sit down this year and say, let's maximize this more?
I think you just build on the positive things and, improve, the negatives, the things we need to work on. And I think that's a big thing. That's what we're out here doing right now. Just, like I said, building this team chemistry and, getting better each day.
You really like the old conditioning staff. How have you hit it off with the new gang, and are you doing anything different in there than you've done before?
Yeah, it's different workouts, but I love it. It's challenging. I feel like gets us a lot stronger. I know we feel good when we go out there. So it's been challenging. It's different. I love it. Any new workouts, anything in the weight room that they want to challenge us with, I'll be ready. I know the guys like it too.
One example, maybe something different or new to you?
Well, yeah, we have to do negative. So if we do a rep, count on like 1, 2, 3, rather than just pushing it up. So it is challenging though, but I love it.
First contract year of your career, how do you avoid letting that become a distraction?
I ain't worried about that. Next question. No concern for me.
No extra motivation, no extra pressure?
No, it's football. I fell in love with it before the money. I love football, so.
Talking about building on the positives, how much easier is that to do when there was so much positive, though, at the end of the year?
Just continue to get good at the things that we are really good at, and making great. And then that's what every player out here is trying to do, and we're trying to do as a team collectively.
You feel like you finally got the chance in those last few games to prove what you knew to be true?
I was just trying to play good football, help this team win games, not really focus on what I need to do. As long as I go out there and do what we practice throughout the week, then everything else will take care of itself.
Good to see you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Derrick.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
The hell?
What you got?
Nothing.
I guess the last time we talked to you, I guess it was right after you had signed your contract. What have things been like for you as you fit in over the last couple of months?
Things have been great. Great teammates, great coaches. You got everybody that's just really bought in and super excited for what's going to come in the future. I mean, it's been a short time so far, but I can feel the continuity growing with this group.
You mentioned when you got here that one of the important things for you would be to develop a relationship with Taylor so that you two would be on the same page. What's kind of the status update on that?
I think it's been going extremely well. On, off the field, just continuing the conversation. It seems like we're always talking ball, but then we also have time to just, kind of have our best friendship, as Twitter would say. But it's really been great, and I think that the more that we play with each other, the more that we're kind of feeling how we handle situations, and the chemistry is growing as well.
We talked to you, I guess, when we first signed about Derrick and maybe Dion, the two backs. You kind of blocked them in practice. What are you seeing from, I guess, Derrick specifically?
They're both working extremely hard. I mean, we're constantly working on things on offense just to try to give them as best looks as we possibly can. But both of those guys are running hard. They're finishing, which is something that we really stand by as a team. And the way that they're practicing, I know that practice is really helping them become the leaders that they're meant to be. And it gets offensive linemen excited when you see your running backs running like that. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. With you.
Sorry, Derrick Henry, just his attention to his craft, his work ethic, so forth.
Well, I always knew that he was working hard from the beginning. Even before he got here, he was training really hard. And then, when you see him out here and you see the way that he's lifting and the way that he's running, it gets you excited about the season. But at the end of the day, it just comes into, what are we putting in and day out. And the more consistent we can all be, the better that we're going to be.
How much are you five, whoever the five will wind up being, responsible for maybe setting the tone for the whole deal here?
I think that it all begins with effort, and the thing that we preach on this team is being a team. It takes all 11 guys to be able to be able to make these plays work. And for me, I feel like just having that tenacity up front is going to be able to set the tone. But at the end of the day, we're all moving the same. We're all trying to come out with the juice. We're all trying to bring that effort and that finish with every play that we have.
What are your impressions of Arthur and his first time at OTAs being the offensive coordinator who you have with you? Just your impressions of him.
So far, I think that he's been doing a great job. Like I said, it's been a short scale of being able to see everything, but I think that he's just been doing a great job of just being that leader of our offensive group. Working with us, being accountable himself, as well as the rest of the team. And it shows out there in practice. He's calling these plays, he's writing up these plays, he's working extremely hard so that we could be successful during the season.
Can you tell he's a little green at all, or has it been like a natural fit, like in your eyes?
I think it's been a natural fit. With him coming in for a second year, it's a little bit easier working with this group. But taking that head role, of course, is going to give you. It's going to give you a little bit of a challenge, but he's definitely rose to the challenge. I haven't seen any type of fall from him at all.
Delaney and some of the other vets, did they talk to you about, they know this guy, they know what he's all about, to kind of give you a heads up of who you're working with?
Absolutely. Of course, because you always have questions, and vets are always going to be there to kind of show you along the way, and everybody's greeting me, extremely well. But at the end of the day, what we really talk about as a team is trust. And, he's my coach. So, what he says goes. And, it's my duty to just try to make those plays work.
Is there any getting used to Taylor Lewan because he's a different kind of guy, or is he just a ball player and that's all that matters?
He's a personality, but that shouldn't matter. You love having personalities on a team like that. It makes the meetings a lot more fun. With him, that personality being dragged into the weight room, it's making people super competitive, and guys want to work harder and lift more. And out on the field, it's getting that juice up for some of the young guys who just want to get it on. And for me, I think it's more of just like, when he brings out that personality, I kind of bring out my personality. The whole group has some chemistry, and we just go out there to work.
Do you want it to be a left-handed team all day?
For me, I just want to answer whenever the call has been called to me. When it comes down to plays going to the left, of course you want to take pride in that. But there's a lot of plays where the backside can become the front side. So with this team, it's just about making these run plays efficient.
You talked when you got here some about the continuity in terms of terminology between Arthur Smith and Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, you played with in Los Angeles. Has that kind of lived up to your expectations in terms of the transition being easier as a result of that?
Yes. It has been helpful. But at the end of the day, when it starts coming down to the little details, there are different nuances here and there. So, for me, it's just more of just like, okay, all right, take those nuances. Don't try to just compare them to last year's offense so that I can be able to speak the same terminology as the rest of my teammates.
The guy played a bunch of football. What's the balancing act between sharing some of what you know and not sounding like a know-it-all at times?
Yeah. I mean, I think the big thing is just to go ahead and weigh that out. I can learn a lot of experience from these guys as well. They're playing in a conference that I've never played in. Played in the AFC when I was in the NFC. So, of course, there are a lot of things that I can learn from them just as much as they can learn from me. But when it comes down to just the bare minimums of football, I'll be able to just share what I know. Sometimes they see the way that I work and they have questions and I can answer those. But trying to put that within the realm and the rules of what our offensive line coach is talking about. Thank you, guys.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm good.
Can you talk about your situation a little bit? I mean, you come here, you've been a starter for your whole career, starter as long as you can remember. How kind of the challenge of, now that you know that you're, backing up Marcus, what's that like? Difference for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a transition for me. Definitely tough at times, but Marcus is great to work with. The staff here, Marcus, our quarterback room, is really great. And when you work with good people, great people, and you're all aligned and in this thing together trying to win football games, it definitely helps with that transition. But, yeah, there are some things that are tough about it, but just kind of what goes along with it, So I'm just trying to take it day by day, get better each and every day, learning a new offense here. So, digging in, learning as much as I can, taking some bumps and bruises along the way, but excited to be here and help this team win.
As a competitive guy with a lot of competitive juices, do you still find yourself saying to yourself, I want this job, I want to be the guy? Or
I like you said, I have a lot of competitive juices, and I want to go out and compete on the football field each and every day. I'm competing against the defense right now, so they're competing against us. They're doing everything they can to stop us. We're trying to move the ball down the field and put points on the board. So, as a competitor, there's some things that are tough about it, but it doesn't take the competition side of football out. You put the ball down and you play, you're still playing. So, just trying to compete against the defense each and every day.
What was your initial thought, I guess, when you heard this trade's going down on going to Tennessee?
A little shocked. I knew something was probably going to happen. Didn't really know what. But excited to be here in Nashville, in Tennessee. I think I've visited the city a few times before I was here and thought I would like living here, and it's been great so far. And then as I got to know the guys on the team, the organization, I really just came to know that this organization is about winning, have good leadership from the top, Coach Vrabel, good guys in the locker room, and kind of immediately felt like this is going to be a good spot.
What's been the most difficult part of the transition for you?
There's a lot of difficult parts of it, but I think when you're the starter, there's certain things that you're able to do, and as far as leading and stuff like that. So really having to kind of take a step back in a leadership role, I would say has been probably the toughest role for me. You work at it for so many years on growing your leadership and all that, and then having to take a step back and really have a backseat is tough, really tough at times.
What's the long range hope, expectation, plan? When a guy signs a 1-year contract, obviously there's an end game.
Yeah, my end game right now is to be ready if my number's called. You know, I'm going to come out, compete each and every day against the defense, try to get better and better, dig into this offense, learn it as much as I can, and if my name's called, then be ready to go. You know, help this team win.
What's it been like learning this offense, and your thoughts on Arthur Smith, because this is his first game as an offensive coordinator?
Yeah, so this offense is a lot different than any offense I've been in. You know, there's a little bit of carryover, back to some West Coast stuff that I was in back in the day, but you know, overall it's pretty new for me. So a lot of learning, a lot of time spent just learning the terminology, the concepts. Now that we're out here running them, just getting familiar with the concepts and the reads. Arthur's been great though. He's been great from day one. Really just a humble guy that wants to win. And when you have a leadership like that from an offensive coordinator, that he's gonna be humble and do everything he can to get wins, then you have a lot of excitement about the possibilities.
What do you think about Marcus Mariota before you kind of became his teammate, and what are your thoughts after working with him here over the last couple of months?
Yeah, I've had a lot of respect for Marcus since he came into the league. You know, obviously, winning the Heisman back at Oregon, and just had some really good years in the league. So I always respected his game and heard good things about him. So when I was able to finally come meet him and spend some time with him, get to know the kind of guy he is, the kind of man he is, and just the quality human being he is, it's been fun for me.
How has that interaction been with you and Marcus and with Coach O'Hara in that QB room as well as Logan?
It's been great. I think, like I said, we have great guys in that room. We're all aligned and trying to push each other, compete against each other, but aligned and trying to all be ready to go and be the best quarterbacks we can be. So it's been a great room. I've had a lot of fun getting to know those guys and learning some football, learning some new stuff along the way, competing against them. Marcus and I were just running in the sandpit together, just competing against each other, getting a little extra work. So, Marcus likes to compete. I love to compete. So it's fun having a guy like that you get to spend a lot of time with and push each other.
What would you say is the best way to keep that competition intense, but not to the point where you guys want to, bite each other's head off, so to speak?
I think there's a lot of mutual respect between us. So, I'm going to try to help Marcus as much as I can. I think Marcus has done the same for me, and as long as we have that mutual respect and understand that we're aligned and trying to push each other, make each other better, and ultimately want to help this team win. That's what we're here for as quarterbacks, is to help our team win, lead the offense down the field and put points on the board. So, like I said, we're aligned in that, and that makes all the interactions and the competition a lot of fun.
Athletically, quarterback 1 and 2 don't always match up, but with you and Marcus being kind of similar athletically, does that allow the playbook to basically stay the playbook no matter who's in there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, we're going to put in our system, and I think all of our quarterbacks, Logan included, kind of have the athleticism to move around and make plays with our legs. So, I think that gives us a lot of flexibility, no matter who's back there, that we can kind of stay consistent in the way we do things and don't have to make a lot of changes.
It's been cool having Cameron Wake as a teammate once again, and you know him as well as anybody. What's this team getting in him?
Cam's a great guy. He's been doing it at a high level for a long period of time. When I came into the league 8 years ago, he was already playing at a high level. So I have a ton of respect for Cam. The guy seems ageless. You look at the guy, and it's incredible. I think he gets younger by the day and instead of older. But he's physically, design a defensive end or outside backer. That's what you want. He's able to consistently get a good pass rush and set the edge. And I don't really know what his role is with this team. I don't study our defense like that, but I know you're getting a good football player that's going to do everything he can to help this team win.
The shared experience that you have with the majority of the locker room is that bizarre Week 1 game from last year. It took like 8 hours.
Yeah.
What are your memories from that game?
That was a wild game. So long. It felt like the day just kept going. I took a couple naps in the locker room, but a bizarre experience and one for the record books, longest game in NFL history. But I think that helped ease into the locker room a little bit because we had something to talk about, as I got here the first couple of days. But I always remember that game.
You competed against this team. Now you're in the locker room. What are your thoughts on the culture here and just what this team is all about?
The culture here is great. Like I said earlier, I think it starts from the top. Coach Vrabel, the tone he sets each and every day in front of the team. I have a ton of respect for the way he leads this team. The accountability factor that he holds this team to, the standard is set really high, and we want to hold that bar no matter who it is, no matter when it happens in the game, when it happens in the practice. And I think that trickles down from him throughout the entirety of the locker room. Great guys in the locker room, great leaders, and I think the group as a whole is headed in the right direction as far as working every day, taking what Coach Vrabel brings to us and trying to go put it out on the football field each and every day.
You talked about just kind of the challenges of accepting your new role and kind of finding your way there. Does it help at all over the last 4 years the guy in your position has gotten onto the field and bring some meaningful reps?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think about all that. I think I just work to be the best quarterback I can each and every day, and if the time comes where I can get on the field, then I want to take advantage of it. But I don't try to think about it like that. I have way too much respect for Marcus and him as a player, him as a person, and just working together with him at this point.
Good.
Thanks, guys. Locked out. I guess I'm with you guys.
All right.
No extra time today. We'll do it next week.
I'm sure they're disappointed.
They're ready to go. All right, we'll find out.
Okay.
You know what I told them? I told them to keep your eye on the ball and swing hard. Same thing I tell Carter.
Mike, as Arthur's working through his first offseason as an offensive coordinator, do you meet with him after practices or watch as he works through the play calling to watch it and provide feedback, help with growth, anything like that?
I do that with Dean, and Dean's been doing it for 35 years. So if I do it with Dean, there's probably a pretty good chance that I would do it with Arthur and every one of our coaches. Just try to make sure that we're on the same page, that this is what we're trying to get out of practice. Hey, let's look to run this a few more times. This didn't look great. Let's make sure we get a few more looks at this. So we're doing that in all three phases. That's nonstop.
How's that process working for him?
For Arthur?
For Arthur, yeah.
I would say that the same way it's working for everybody. I think that they evaluate the plays that they have in and how they taught it and how the players were able to understand it in the meetings and then be able to execute it. And if they didn't execute it, we got to find out why, and then continue to teach it and find different ways to get it across to our players. So, right now I think that's just where we're at in OTAs. It's nothing is competitive. It's non-contact camp.
Ryan said maybe the biggest adjustment for him as a backup is stepping back in terms of leadership, which he worked so hard on. for a guy that started for a long time to be in a backup position, you talk to him at all about the mentality? You want everybody to want to start.
Sure. The one thing I do know that there shouldn't be any restrictions on leadership. You know, if a guy that's shows up and is a rookie and he's able to lead or provide some sort of assistance to somebody by either playing hard or knowing what to do or helping his teammate, I would never want anybody on this team not to want to try to lead and to help somebody else, regardless of if they are with the first team, the second team, and the third team.
When you sort of watched him work over the last couple of months, what kind of stood out about Ryan?
Well, Matt, like I said, he came in, he learned a new offense really quick. You know, that's not something that's easy to do, and so I think he studied very hard. It was important to him. I also get the sense that he wants to be here. He wants to be a part of this team and this organization, and I really like the dynamic between Marcus and Ryan and Logan, and really with Pat. They have time they meet with Arthur, and then they have time they meet with Pat, and I always love popping in there and kind of seeing the dynamic. And there's 3 different guys have been 3 different places, and it's always good to get other perspective to say, hey, we used to run this route this way, or we ran this play, and then that's what they're doing.
Athletically, he gives you some of the similar stuff that Marcus can do. I think that's a big change for you. So.
Well, he has athleticism. I mean, he's was a college quarterback, college receiver, and then became a very good quarterback. And so, I wouldn't say he's a sitting duck by any turn. I mean, he's able to run, move the pocket stuff, and execute everything that we need him to do.
Tough is it for any college wide receiver to adjust to the pros, different playbook, etc. And along those lines, how is AJ doing so far?
Well, I've touched on this ad nauseum. I mean, the coverages are much different. They're much more complex. He's doing like a lot of guys, especially young guys. He's got some good plays and got some plays that he'd like to have back. But I think he's studying, and I think that it's heading in the right direction. But we still, coach him, and we're trying to push him and get the most out of him.
Why is that one of the more difficult positions of transitioning from college to the NFL?
I haven't gone back and studied it and looked at the numbers. I'm not going to sit here and say it was easy for Randy Moss, but it was. But I just know that the coverages, the complexity, and the routes when they, hey, we're going to convert this versus split safety, and we're going to run it this way versus post safety. I think those are different, I think, sometimes than most colleges.
Why was it important for you to keep the on-field staff the same? And do you recognize that that's somewhat unique for a first-year coach? Usually there's some level of change.
I can't comment on what else other coaches have done. I try to do the best job that I could to hire guys that were knowledgeable, that were loyal, that were good teachers. And I just felt that evaluating everyone's performance, that's was important to have those guys back, and then add Todd to that mix, and then be able to add Frank into the weight room.
Where did Landry take his game this year with so much that he was able to do in that rookie season? But I'm sure there's plenty of growth you'd like to see with him, especially when you work with him so much.
Yeah, I think we didn't try to slow him down. I mean, we didn't want to give him too much. That's the mistake you make. You give a guy too much, and then he kind of just doesn't really play as fast as you'd like him to play. And so hopefully in this second season we can continue to add things to what he's doing, and hopefully get the same type of effort. He's worked extremely hard in the weight room all off season. Frank would have to send him out of here. He wouldn't be here too many days in a row and working out. And so he's committed to it, and hopefully he can make that jump from his first year to his second year.
Anything dramatically different with Frank? You've mentioned a couple of times as the strength coach. I know the sand pit is new out there. Does he have some other philosophical things that are different that you're seeing improvements in?
Well, I mean, I think that when you get to any level, I mean, this isn't. I don't want to undermine anything that anybody's doing, but they don't spend as much time with our strength coach as they do a college strength coach. Where the rules may be a little different, where they spend a lot of time. Frank has a lot of time with him early on, and then he gets less time with him. But it's about, I think, getting guys to realize that they can make some gains in the off season, and that lifting is important to any professional sport. And it's easy to train guys like Harold or Taylor Lewan that love to work out. Those are the easy ones to coach. You have to try to coach the guys that, maybe just aren't as self-motivated towards lifting. They may be motivated more towards running. So I think that what we're trying to do is try to get guys to buy into what a weight program can do for your overall performance and durability throughout the season.
During those times you got guys split off the young guys, philosophically, who's running that? And are you giving coaches opportunities there maybe that they wouldn't have?
That was something that we did in Houston, and that was something where I really tried to somebody's got to hold the script. Somebody has to make a call. But that was where, you have a group of guys, and when I was a linebacker coach, that was something we two-spotted it, that I was able to do, and I felt like I appreciate it, not only because we can get some more reps in, and guys are able to get a bunch of work in the time limit that we have, but it's also good for young coaches to be over there and taking ownership of it. Scott Booker and, Crow's over there, Ryan Crow. And so I think that's key. Shane Bowen can get over there and help. Dean's working over here, and John's over there kind of watching that other field. So those are great opportunities for just the other coaches to be able to have a leadership role.
What have you seen from Tajay this offseason so far, where there's been a lot of outside competition brought into his position?
Like the rest of them. I mean, honestly, he's embraced the group. I mean, you're going to make changes every year, and I think that he made some nice plays today. He made some nice plays yesterday, some things that he is going to want to fix and improve on. But he's a long target. He's got a good catch radius. Quarterback trusts him. So those are all real positive things. We just continue to work and try to improve him every day. But he's come in with a great attitude, and he's been focused, been locked in, and doing everything that we've asked him to do.
Austin and Daquan don't necessarily put up huge numbers, but when they're going well, how does that reflect on the defense? What do you see from the defense when those guys are kind of at the top of their game?
Well, if we can be firm in the middle of our defense, and if you can control three gaps with two defensive linemen, we talk about both A gaps and whatever B gap the three techniques lined up in. If you can have two guys, whoever it may be able to control those three gaps with their body or the offensive lineman's body, that really frees up, guys behind them to go and play and to run. And then if you can't, then you got to commit a linebacker to that A gap or whatever it may be. But those guys keep working hard, and Terrell does a great job working on technique and fundamentals. And it's tough because they're on sleds, or they're on me, or they're on Terrell. I mean, they're working against the guy, and then when we don't have pads on, so it's really hard to sit there and evaluate interior defensive linemen during OTAs because it's a non-contact camp.
Do you remember what your reaction was when Dean told you you would be back, and kind of what that meant for the idea of continuity?
Well, yeah, continue the continuity. I was happy and excited for Dean personally, because that means he was feeling great and ready to come back, feeling refreshed, that him and Mel had made a decision that was in their best interest as well as the best interest of the Titans. And to have him come back has been great for me, because he's got a lot of experience, coached me obviously, and so we easy conversations. We talk things through, and I have maybe some grandiose ideas about doing some things, and then he'll tell me where the pitfalls are. He'll be like, "Hey, remember when we did that we run into this?" I say, "Oh yeah, you're right." But just he does a great job of just communicating with me each and every day and working through things that we want to put in.
Because you're halfway through OTAs, you like what you've seen so far, and what you'd like to see before you start?
We categorize days and practices and things we do as the good, the bad, and the things that get you beat. And we got to keep enhancing the things that are good. We got to fix the things that are bad and eliminate the things that get you beat. And so those things come up each and every day. And that's our job. That's my job, to be able to eliminate the things that get us beat not getting lined up, uncovering a receiver, turning the ball over, all those things, and then just fixing the things that are bad and then continuing on things that are good.
A couple more. Derrick and Arthur, just about consistency and wanting to put together a full season of production. Is there one thing more than another that you guys can collaborate on to kind of see that actually happens? That he needs to improve on this coming year?
Who's that? Derrick Henry? I mean, I think that that would be a case where we want to look at the things, how he finished the season and how we ran the ball at the end of the season and enhance those things. And then whatever the issues were at the beginning of the season, just keep fixing them and finding out, what the player sees. Because, as a coach, it's hard to allow players to make mistakes because you want it to be perfect. And I think that by allowing them to make mistakes and asking them, hey, what did you see? What was it here that you didn't like or you didn't understand, or where did you feel like you made the mistake? Now, sometimes on the practice field, we don't have the time to do that. You have to do it in the meeting room. But just continuing to do a great job of letting guys make mistakes, having them, if they can explain it to you right when it happened, like, yeah, I missed a cut. I thought I saw this. Okay, well then, obviously we don't have to coach it up. And if they don't know, then we got to get back in the meeting room and keep working on those things. And that goes for receivers, that goes for outside line. Hey, inside line. Hey, Rashawn, what happened? I just got picked. And well, you're covering your guy. You just didn't see the traffic out in front of you. Well, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on that. Or if he says, hey, I thought I had another guy, well, then we got to go back and make sure that he understands it.
Every year you have guys who are in contract. Is that something you've ever felt the need to address with players, or is that their business, they're on their own to handle?
They get on me all the time. When I tell them, hey, this is pro football. Like, that's pro football, Corey. Like, everybody's got a contract. We all have one. Some guys got years remaining. Some guys are going to expire after the end of this year. We understand that, but we all have a job to do. I was in that position plenty of times as a player. And the only thing I would tell you is my position is when it was as a coach is you try to do the best job and a job that you have before you start worried about the next one.
Kevin Byard is someone who's a big personality who's talking about how the Rackford moving on. He senses more than ever the urgency to step into a leadership role. What do you see from him?
I think that's something that him and I have talked about, but I would have told him that I don't think that he should have deferred to anybody last year. You don't have to raise your hand to lead. You just go out there and do a great job. But that's something that he's really focused on, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And because you can't force that type of stuff. You can't force something that isn't going to happen, naturally. And so you want to try to give everybody the opportunity to do it. But, at the end of the day, you're going to get 8 to 10 guys that can really lead, and then you end up with, 4 or 5 captains or whatever it ends up being. See you guys.